I'd rather show you what I got. Where I walk, where I talk. See me flying down my route, pass me the ball. I ain't dropping none, I don't fumble at all. Winner, chicken dinner every time we ball. Throwing it like Fredo, I dunk it like LeBron. Hey. Monday Night Fredo, Infinity TV. Monday Night
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Fredo here, live from the Infinity Studios in Los Angeles. And what a weekend it was. I mean, there was just a lot of basketball, a lot of great basketball that we all got a chance to witness over the weekend. And of course, now the stage is set for the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals, which we got Boston and Miami. We got the Nuggets and the Lakers, which is going to be two great series to catch up on. I got a lot to talk about. Of course, also the Phoenix Suns. They fired their head coach, Monty Williams, which was, we kind of saw that coming in the way the series ended this year and the way it ended last year as well. But as well, another, I don't even know what to say. And this is where I'm going to start my show off with about Ja Morant, about what this kid is up to now and what is he thinking, because I don't at this point. I don't want to put blame in certain people, but it's his group. I mean, a lot of times, certain players, you got to keep your circle very, very close. And whether Ja, I mean, if you like doing these certain things, because I get it, Tennessee, it's free to go ahead and be carrying weapons out there, loaded or not loaded. That's the state of Tennessee. And we get that you feel that you're in your own right. But at the end of the day, you work for the NBA. That is the organization that you represent, that they are not going to pay someone millions of dollars and be doing the actions that you're doing out there. You're 23 years old, Ja. 23. You're young. Very, very young. And it seems like this is a pattern now. This is the fourth incident that we've seen from you in the last year, the third in the last 4 months. And especially saying after every time, oh, I'm not going to do it again. Oh, no, I'm going to go seek some help. And no, I'm going to do this. And you met with Adam Silver. You did lots of things over the last 6 weeks. 6 weeks. It has not been that long that we had the last incident with you being in the strip club in Denver, waving your guns around. So someone like you who were possibly looking into being the face of the NBA, especially the way you ended your playoff run last year against the Warriors, you were destined and you were being placed as the face of the NBA. And now you ruined it all, because I believe that the NBA will give you a season-long suspension for this. And that's the speculation out there. They're saying it's going to be a very heavy suspension, and it's going to be more than 30 games. And for something like this, that if it's more than 30 games, close to maybe 60 games, 50 games possibly, it's going to ruin your image. You're going to lose your sponsorships. You just got your first shoe with Nike going right now. You're going to ruin that. You got your Powerade ads. You're going to ruin that. Millions of dollars coming for you, Ja. And I got a chance to listen to Kendrick Perkins this morning and got a chance to see that he mentioned this, and this is off of him. He said that he had a conversation with Ja's dad a few weeks ago after the first incident that happened in Denver. And Ja's dad was just kind of pushing him away, saying like, hey, look, we got this. He's under control. He knows what he's doing. He got this. We got this, Perk. Those were the words that were coming out. And for someone to be pushing away a lot of the people, because it did not just come from Perk. I saw multiple people throughout the media over the last month saying that they reached out to his dad. And his dad is on his side, on his corner every time. I don't want to put no blame on him, saying that, for the times and the repetitions that we've seen this action from Ja Morant, and sooner than later it's something else is gonna happen, because if the fourth time it didn't happen, it's gonna happen the fifth time. It's gonna happen. And John, I'm gonna leave it with this. You got to watch out with the people next to you. I mean, it seemed like from what I saw in that IG live video, because Saturday morning, the first thing that popped up on my Twitter feed was the video, and I was like, wait a second, is this a replay from like a month ago or 2 months ago? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, no, it says that it was just filmed yesterday. Like, oh my god! And I'm like, Jaw, what are you doing? And this time, it wasn't off his account. This time it wasn't off his account. It was off his friend's account who was actually driving at the time. So you're with a friend. You had two people in the back seat. Who knows what was in that vehicle? And the driver is on IG Live driving with you waving guns on the passenger seat. You know how dangerous that is? You're putting yourself in so much crap that it's unbelievable to see a young kid that talented be throwing shit away. It's unbelievable. But I hope he learns, because sooner than later, some people do learn and they'll stop and they'll turn it around. Let's see if Jaw's one of those kids. Let's see. But there's another thing that's happening right now, guys. The Lakers are actually in the Western Conference Finals, guys. Let's give it up for them. Because right now, I mean, me, myself, and I rewatched Monday Night Fredo from back in December. I watched an episode of Monday Night Fredo back in December, about 5 months ago. And I recalled myself, and I'm going to say this because I and everybody else in this world knew for a fact that the Lakers were not going to even be close into making it into the second round. We all maybe thought that they'll have a chance in making it to the play-in and maybe losing, making it to the first round, maybe losing. No one expected them to be in the Western Conference Finals, maybe not even themselves, not even Darvin Ham. The only person that maybe knew was going to be there was maybe LeBron James, because he always has that mentality of like, hey, I'm not going to give up. And I saw that in him. There was a lot of games over the last 30 games of the season that you saw some in LeBron James where he was really stepping it up to the next level, even though he was hurt in some of those games. But no one really saw this coming. And I'm going to say it myself that, yeah, I was wrong. I called them out, but why was I calling them out at the time? And when I look back at the dates, and it was like December the 17th, 18th, and I'm looking back and I looked at the record, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. There were like 15 games under 500. There was no way a team was going to come back being that below in the standings. There was no way. But there is one guy that deserves all the credit, and it's not Darvin Ham, because Darvin Ham is still making the same critical decisions, still playing with the same players, most of the same players, but it's Rob Pelinka who made this a possibility. I mean, he brought the Lakers from the bottom of the league, from being 13th to now being in the 7th seed, defeating the 2nd seed in the Memphis Grizzlies, defeating the 6th seed in the Golden State Warriors and the defending champions, and then now facing the number 1 seed in the Denver Nuggets and the 2-time MVP Nikola Jokic. That is going to be a hard task for the Lakers to go. And this is where I'm going to lean on the experience of Anthony Davis and LeBron James. I can see LeBron and Anthony Davis making their way to the NBA Finals this year. I can really see that happen, especially from what I've seen in the first 2 series. But there is one factor that the Denver Nuggets have that is going to be the kind of like the do or die player. And that do or die player, it's really going to be Aaron Gordon. No one's really going to talk about Aaron Gordon, but we know the type of player that he is. He's a multiple time All-Star Defensive Player of the Year, and he's been in the league for almost 6, 7, 8 years now after being traded from Orlando to Denver. Aaron Gordon is going to have the task of having to guard LeBron James in his 20th season. We saw what happened in the previous situations with LeBron being defended by Dillon Brooks, Desmond Bane, and those kids. And then you see what they dealt with Andrew Wiggins and some Kuminga and, having, Draymond at times on LeBron James in the series. We saw that LeBron is right now at a stage where it's just incredible to see that in his 20th season at age 38, and a half, about to be 39. He is on the verge of possibly seeking another NBA championship at year 20th. If LeBron gets the opportunity to get that, by all means, the Lakers deserve everything that they did to acquire LeBron James 6 years ago. Because all this that happened with LeBron James since 2018, since he arrived in Los Angeles, possibly turning the city around, because 2013 to 2018 was maybe the worst 5 years the Lakers have ever experienced. The worst. Bad. Awful. I mean, you had Laker fans outside Staples Center at the time cheering and rooting to fire Mitch Kupchak, Jim Buzz, Jeannie sell the Lakers, and all this crap. And if I recall, Money Mike, I think Money Mike had a sign out there outside Staples Center trying to get Jeannie Buzz fired. But the Lakers got a chance to turn it around. And I give a lot of credit to Rob Pelinka. He did it all since day one, since he took the job. Magic Johnson stepped away. Once Magic stepped away, Rob Pelinka pulled the plug, acquired Anthony Davis, and kind of turned everything around. But I do give the Lakers a chance at winning this in 7 games. I do give the Lakers a chance at winning this in 7 games. If they play the way they played in the first 2 series, they will command this series. They will take over, and they would push it to 7 games. I see this being pushed to 7 games because Nikola Jokic is no joke. I mean, that guy's going to eat and eat. Yeah, that guy has to feast every time he's on the court. He has to feast. I have not seen, I'm trying to recall right now, I have not seen a game where Nikola Jokic does not have a feast. I have not seen it. I have not seen it, which is very rare. And that's the reason why he was on the verge of winning 3 back-to-back MVPs. He was on the verge, but Joel Embiid took it. And I will be talking about Joel Embiid when we return here on Monday Night Fredo, because for someone to be the MVP and have a performance the way he did in Game 7, awful, bad. And I'm going to talk about the city of Philadelphia as well, and all of the sports in Philadelphia, and how awful and devastating, and it's sad if you're a Philadelphia, any sort of sports fan out there. It's sad. When we return here, we're going to talk about that. All right?
Hey guys, you got to check out the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center. It's a family-owned and operated pre-ICO, Prop D compliant, and recreational collective serving Chatsworth, the San Fernando Valley, and the surrounding Los Angeles areas. They offer discounts for all our veterans and seniors 55 plus, as well as first-time patient and referral discounts. You can order online at purelifesfv.org. That's purelifesfv.org.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on Monday Night Fredo live from the Infinity Studios in Los Angeles. And of course, right now you're here on the YouTube page or wherever you're watching it from or listening to it. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube right now on Infinity Television. You're going to be getting all of the latest shows. Of course, you can always catch the Profanity Nation on Sunday nights, 8:30 Pacific, and you can watch us on the breaks, which of course you can also watch me tomorrow afternoon, 12 o'clock here on the Infinity Television YouTube channel. You can watch me on the breaks live. I'll be talking about the Lakers. I'll be talking about Boston and be giving you guys some more updates on what's going on with John Morant. And of course, with the Los Angeles Sparks as well. The Sparks do open up their new season here Friday night, live from the Crypto.com arena against Brittany Griner and the Phoenix Mercury. So this is Brittany Griner's first game back in the States after what happened with her in Russia. So that's going to be very exciting to go ahead and see. So, of course, subscribe here on Infinity Television because you're going to get all of that in one channel here. But you're going to get all of Boston right here on Monday Night Fredo right now because Boston Celtics had one of the worst performances in Game 5, which Game 5 took place last Wednesday. So last Wednesday, there was a Game 5 in Boston. The Celtics had the chance to go ahead and at least take the series lead, go up 3-2. They dropped the bomb at home. They went back to Philly for Game 6, down 3-2. So Philadelphia had the opportunity to close the series in Philly. Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid, James Harden had the lead up 5 points with like 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter to close out the Boston Celtics and send them home. Doc Rivers, I'm not sure what happened to Doc in them, but Jason Tatum was having one of the worst performances he's ever had. He was 1 for 14. 1 for 14 from the field in that game in the fourth quarter. Within 5 minutes, Mr. Jason Tatum dropped 17 points to take a victory lap right there in Philadelphia. He stomped on all the Philadelphia fans out there, shocked. That arena was quiet. Tatum went on to go ahead and have a historical performance in Game 7 on Mother's Day yesterday. Historical performance, 51 points in a Game 7 is the record. That record was currently set by Steph Curry a few weeks ago, Game 7 at Sacramento. With what Jason Tatum was capable of doing in the fourth quarter of Game 6 in Philadelphia, that carried on in Game 7 in Boston last night. Boston is different when Jason Tatum got it going. When Jason Tatum scores over 31 points, the Celtics win 90% of their games. So the recipe to success for the Boston Celtics is, hey, give the ball to Jason Tatum, let him get going in the first quarter, and that will go ahead and continue and pursue his points where, when he scores 30 plus points, the Celtics are very good in winning and closing out games. That is the recipe for success for them. Not heading into the playoffs when you have a Jaylen Brown who is fighting for some time. Jaylen Brown took it out to the media and he said, hey, I don't even know what my role is right now. I'm just trying to stay in the zone and trying to win some games. He loves the city of Boston. He called out Boston. Anyone is crazy to call out the Boston Celtics fans or any sort of Boston fans, even Red Sox fans, Bruins fans, any fans out there in Boston. You're tough. You got to be tough to call out your own fans. And when you called out everyone after your Game 6 victory in Philadelphia, every single Celtics fan was in there yesterday screaming and make sure that Philadelphia was not going to walk away with the Game 7 victory because the devastating performance that Joel Embiid, who was the MVP this year, just announced about a week ago, he had a performance that was a very surprise. I did not expect that from Joel Embiid. I did not expect Joel and James Harden to be a combined of 20 points in this game. I couldn't see that happen. I was shocked to see that, but that just lets me know that they really didn't have it in this series. They were just a fluke out there. They were just they won some games that were just incredible to see. James Harden showing out 45 points, 50 points in game one. He had another spectacular performance in Philadelphia, which is raining more threes. There were just, certain shots just hit at certain times, and timely shots matter in the NBA. That's why those shots that Tatum hit in game 6 towards the end of the fourth quarter hurt the Philadelphia 76ers. But this is where I'm going to leave it off with Philadelphia before we go to another commercial break. And we're going to go ahead and return with some NFL scheduling, because the NFL schedule's out. All the big teams already know who they're facing in week 1 and what the big games are. I'm going to talk to you guys about that. But I feel bad. I feel bad for the city of Philadelphia. I feel bad because in the last year, you had all 4 of your major sports fail in big stages. In the big stage, the Phillies lost in the World Series against the Houston Astros in game 7. Philadelphia Sixers lost in game 7 at Boston. You have your soccer team, your MLS team, lose in the championship game against the local LAFC football club here. You just have the certain bad blood with the Philadelphia Eagles losing to Patrick Mahomes. So all 4 of your sports lost in the championship game or the Eastern Conference Finals for the Sixers in the game 7. Where it all matters, and it sucks. I'm sorry, Philadelphia. I am sorry you had to deal with this thing, because man, oh man, doesn't it feel good to win 2 championships like it's happened here in 2020 and 1988 in the same year. Not lose all 4 in the same year. That sucks. That's hard. So I'm sorry, Philadelphia, but it seems like you guys are just a city of losers out there. That's what it seems like. But when we return here on Monday Night Fredo, we're going to go ahead and talk about the big games in the NFL, who is opening up the season against the Chiefs on ceremony night, ring night, and as well, big games on Christmas Day, and who are the Chargers going to play in the first game. Of course, some of you guys know already, but if you don't, I'll let you guys know when we return here on Monday Night Fredo.
Hey guys, you got to check out the Pure Life Alternative Wellness Center. It's a family-owned and operated pre-ICO, Prop D compliant, and recreational collective serving Chatsworth, the San Fernando Valley, and the surrounding Los Angeles areas. They offer discounts for all our veterans and seniors 55 plus, as well as first-time patient and referral discounts. You can order online at purelifesfv.org. That's purelifesfv.org.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Yes, we are back here on Monday Night Fredo. And of course, the NFL schedule got released this past Thursday, and we all got the opportunity and the chance to see what the new season here in 2023 is going to bring us. And of course, we can expect the Kansas City Chiefs to open up the season on Thursday, September the 7th on Amazon Prime, which of course, Prime Thursday night games are always going to be on Prime Video, but they will be facing and hosting the Detroit Lions. Really? Detroit Lions on opening night of football against the Chiefs? Like, come on, it can be better than that. Like, I mean, last year we got the Rams and the Bills, which was a very good game, competitive game at the time. But this year we get the Lions and the Chiefs. Like, I mean, okay, I guess Jared Goff and those guys. I mean, they had a good season last year. But really, come on, NFL. Like, I thought that could have been better. But we do got some big games going on. Of course, we got Cleveland as well. The Browns. Like, I really don't know what to expect from Deshaun Watson this season because we saw Deshaun come back from that suspension and whatnot, being out for almost 2 years or so. But he only played like about 5-6 games last year, and it wasn't maybe his best games that he could have had. He could have done better, but they are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals on that first opening week. You get the Buccaneers and the Vikings as well. That's gonna be a pretty good, decent matchup to see. With the addition of Baker Mayfield with Tampa Bay, and you got Kirk Cousins up in Minnesota still. You got the Jaguars and the Colts. That's gonna be a good game. You got the Niners and Pittsburgh. That's also two good, very good, heavy fan bases. It's going to be very competitive for week one. But then we get a rematch of Sunday Night Football from last year from the Chargers and the Miami Dolphins. Week one, the Chargers are hosting the Dolphins. So it's Tua Tagovailoa. Is he feeling okay? Like, he had multiple concussions last season towards the end of it. I don't know. It's very tough to see a player that's gone through some stuff like that. It's very easy. Once you get hit, those concussions will come back easier than the first one. So it's going to be very scary thought, but they do have a few backups. They got a very good team this year as well. So Miami has the potential to really have a very good year. I don't see them winning no more than 9 games, 8 games possibly, especially when you got the New York Jets very much improved. Of course, that's another big game. Monday Night Football week 1, the Jets are hosting the Buffalo Bills. That's going to be a very good game because now Aaron Rodgers is in New York. And that's something that I didn't get a chance to talk about in my last Monday Night Fredo episode. But Aaron Rodgers is too old right now. In this stage of his career, it's like when Brett Favre left them. Brett Favre had one good solid year. He was one play away from making it to the Super Bowl if it wasn't for the interception with the Saints at the time. But Aaron Rodgers is not, as I heard this the other day. They're like, well, look what LeBron James is doing right now. Look at what he's doing. Well, football and basketball are two different sports. And when you talk about LeBron James, LeBron's been at the top of the ladder over the last 20 years. Aaron Rodgers has not been at the top every single year. Yeah, he's been one of the top 3, top 5. He's been up there, won one championship, never made it up again. He won that championship back in 2012, 2011. So it's been almost 10 years ago. So can he just go to New York, beat on the Bills, beat on the Chiefs, beat on Miami, beat on the Chargers, beat on possibly the Raiders if they do something with Jimmy Garoppolo this year, which I kind of see some action coming out of Las Vegas. And, hopefully they might be able to put it together this year and be competitive. But I don't know. There's not that many other teams that might be better than the New York Jets, besides the teams that I named right now. But the Buffalo Bills and the Chiefs are the two teams that maybe look out for if you're a Jets fan, and that is a very tough situation to go ahead and deal with. But Aaron Rodgers, over and under on victories this first season, I give him about 10. I give him 10 victories. I'm pushing it right there. I think I'm giving him an extra one, but I also see them being maybe an 8 or 9 win team because Buffalo will win about 11 or 12 games, and it's going to be very tough, especially when you have to face Pittsburgh as well. So we got some very, very heavy teams. And of course, we also do have the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers hosting the Chargers this year in New York on Monday Night Football. So that's going to be very good to go ahead and witness that game is in November. So we're gonna go ahead and get a chance to see that as well. So there's gonna be so much football, guys. So much football. But I do want to give you guys this piece of breaking news right now before I do close the show. I just got it. Let me go back onto it, and it was on. 1 second, guys. Just to inform some of you WNBA fans right now, the Los Angeles Sparks have waived Monica Cesiano, which was their first round pick this year. Drafted her out of Iowa, who was a very great post defender and a great post scorer as well. She worked both sides of the floor. Got a chance to see her practice during training camp, and she was working hard out there. She was making a statement out there with the girls, but the Sparks just announced about 5 minutes ago that they have released Monica Cesiano from Iowa, which was the first round pick of the WNBA draft this year. So congratulations for her in getting drafted, and hopefully another team does pick her up, and wish her nothing but success. But I will see you guys next week, next Monday night. And next Monday is going to be very special Monday Night Fredo, because it will be game 4 of the Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and the Nuggets. That game 4 will be here in LA. It's scheduled to tip off at 5:30 p.m. So technically, Monday Night Fredo will be a post-game Laker game show. All right. That's technically what it's going to be like. Of course, you can catch me tomorrow here, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on the breaks on Infinity Studios. So see you guys next week.